Mecum Indianapolis 2026 had some surprisingly good deals, and we've already looked at the cars that sold for $5,000, $10,000, and $15,000. Now it's time to step things up and see what happens when you stretch the budget just a little further to $20,000. Let's take a look at 20 vehicles that sold for $20,000 and less at Mecum Indy 2026 and see which ones were bargains and which ones maybe were not. This is a 1984 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 with 67,000 miles on the odometer. It has a professionally installed, upgraded 350 cubic inch, 300 horsepower V8 engine, automatic transmission, T-tops, air conditioning, and it sold for $19,000. As we look at these vehicles, we're going to keep playing one of my favorite games, Would You Rather Have? Because when you look at these cars side by side, some of the choices get a lot harder than you'd expect. So this next one is a 1985 Ford Mustang GT with 6,000 miles on the odometer. And if you've seen our videos before, you know that we like to show cars that have crossed the block before. This Mustang sold at Mecum Kissimmee in 2022 for $24,000. This time, just a couple weeks ago, at Indy, it sold for $15,500. That's a $8,500 loss. But which of the two vehicles that we just showed would you pick? And one quick reminder, all the prices we mention are just the hammer prices, and they don't include Mecum's 10% buyer's premium. That gets added on when you go to pay for the vehicle. Here is a 1993 Cadillac Allanté convertible, and it has 15,000 miles on the odometer. It's the only year the Allanté got a 4.6 liter, 295 horsepower North Star double overhead cam V8 engine, 4-speed automatic transmission, and one of 151 produced with Verde Flax metallic paint. Verde means green, by the way. This car eventually failed, though. They were really cool looking, but there was something called the Allanté Air Bridge that killed it, and that meant that they were bringing these Italian-built bodies to the America on a modified 747. It was just too expensive. This one sold for $17,000. Now, the reason why I'm showing you a Jaguar, because I'm trying to stay away from the Euro cars, but is because that Cadillac Allanté was produced to compete against cars like this, the XJS. This is a 1992 Jaguar XJS convertible with a V12 engine. Yeah, it's a 5.3 liter, pretty much a behemoth for that car. 4-speed automatic transmission. It's got the Jaguar 15-inch lattice sport alloy wheels, which look really good. The interior on this thing is beautiful, by the way. That exterior color is called flamenco red, but it's got air conditioning, the 263 horsepower, and it sold at Bring a Trailer in July of 2025 for $17,000. This time at Indy, it sold for $16,000. In a previous video, I stated that the Star Chief was the most upscale Pontiac you could buy, but I was wrong. It was actually the Bonneville. And here's a 1962 Pontiac Bonneville with 52,000 miles on it. It has the 389 cubic inch V8, 4-barrel carburetor, hydromatic automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes. I love that it has 8-lug wheels. I wish you could see them, but that just means it's a big, heavy, robust, super duty car in my opinion. The interior on this thing is beautiful, and the steering wheel is kind of one of a kind. Look at the seats, it's beautiful. But oh, by the way, that exterior color is called Belmar Red with an ivory colored roof. But anyway, this thing sold at Indy for $18,000, and it has air conditioning. Okay, this car is going to compete against that Pontiac Bonneville we just showed. It's a 1962 Studebaker Gran Turismo Hawk with 8,000 miles on the odometer. It's a pretty car. It was offered at Mecum Kissimmee in January, but it didn't sell. It had a high bid of only $12,000. Then whoever tried to sell it at Kissimmee ended up taking it to Mecum Glendale in March of this year, and they did sell it for $22,000. So somebody bought this car for 22 grand. Then they're taking it to Indy this time, and you'll be surprised what they sell it for. It has a 289 cubic inch V8 automatic transmission. Now, one thing it does not have is air conditioning, and I like cars with air conditioning. So I'm going to pick the Bonneville over this car, but this car sold this time for $20,000. So whoever bought and sold it lost money. Now we're going to look at a couple pickups, and I'm curious which one you would buy. And they're going to be different prices, so let's keep that in mind as we make our decisions. It's easy to say you want a Bugatti more than a Volkswagen Beetle, but when the Bugatti costs $2 million more, that makes us rethink our decision. So bear that in mind. Here's a 1972 GMC Sierra pickup with 52,000 miles on the odometer. It has a very recently rebuilt engine and transmission with all original parts. Under the hood is a 350 cubic inch V8 engine, 3-speed manual transmission. It's got the original blue interior. I love the way that that looks. It's got the original blue and white paint exterior. The long bed is really nice. This thing looks very original. I think it is gorgeous. It is a really nice truck. And by the way, it does have power brakes. So for those of you that were saying these old cars can't stop and they're not safe, this one will. It's got power brakes. By the way, it sold here at Indy for $20,000. Of the two trucks that we're looking at, the 72 GMC Sierra or this 75 Ford F-150 custom pickup, I'm going to pick the Sierra. This one has 7,000 miles on the odometer, a comprehensive frame-off custom build with 7,000 since the completion, 460 cubic inch V8 with a bunch of performance parts and dual exhaust, a C6 automatic transmission. It's been lowered. It has shaved door handles with a fob to open the driver's door. That means I don't know how you open the passenger door. I guess you have to open it from the driver's side. Shaved mirrors, shaved door handles, all that kind of stuff. Not the things that I'm into, but some people are, and I say, good, it's a beautiful truck. This vehicle sold at Indy for $17,000. So of the two trucks, which one do you pick? Now I want to show you two mid 70s cars that they are quite a bit different, but I'm curious if you'd prefer the one that's a little bit more muscular or the one that's a little bit more comfortable. Here's the muscular one, and I love those two scoops on the hood, by the way. It looks really cool. It's a 1973 Dodge Dart with 20,000 miles on the odometer, has a 340 cubic inch V8 engine, automatic transmission. Look inside, it's got those bucket seats, center console with shifter. Relatively low mileage, I'm sure, because it looks like it's been maintained well, even though the engine wasn't cleaned up as well as the body is. But it's got a rear spoil on there. Don't know too much about that, but I'd keep it on there, I guess. Not into the black exhaust. I think exhaust should be stainless steel looking, but this car sold for $20,000. So this is a really nice, beautiful looking car from the outside, and I want to see what you think about the next car. This one is a 1977 Chevrolet Monte Carlo with 5,000 miles on the odometer. It has a 305 cubic inch V8 engine, 3-speed turbo hydromatic transmission, vinyl Landau top. This thing has air conditioning, which I really appreciate, power brakes, aluminum wheels, chrome bumpers. That's probably about the last time that you're going to see chrome bumpers on these cars anyway, but that red interior is very, very red, but man, it looks good. It looks really, really good. This thing is red on red on red on red. It even has red taillights. Amazing. It sold for $18,500, and I want to know what you think. Do you like this one over the Dodge Dart? Okay, this next comparison is a stark difference in cars. There are some of you that will likely pick the second car over the first one, but I got to show this one first because it is so clean and it is actually my pick. I'm picking it first. I'm letting you know. It's a 1980 Chevrolet Camaro with 17,000 miles. And guess what? This thing was stored in an indoor climate controlled storage facility where it was part of a collection for more than 37 years until the year 2025. So I think those are original miles. It does have a 229 cubic inch V6 engine, but it's got an automatic transmission, power brakes, power steering, and air conditioning. So this thing is really nice. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful car. Let's see what you think about the next one. It's a 1981 Datsun 280ZX with 106,000 miles on the odometer. It has a 2.8-liter inline six-cylinder engine, and hence the name 280ZX. The predecessor to this was the 280Z, which I had. I had a 280Z 2+2, and I really liked that car. It was the same color as this. It looked really good. This thing is super clean. It's a beautiful car, but I'm still picking the Camaro over it just because of how low the miles are on it. It's a great car. This has a 5-speed manual transmission. I like the T-tops on it. They've redone the interior a little bit because it probably need it. One thing that it does not have, at least that I could find, was an AC compressor, so it does not have air conditioning. That's one of the other reasons why I would pick the Camaro over this. But this one sold at Indy for $16,000. Which one of the two cars would you pick? Here is a 2004 Chevrolet SSR with 20,000 miles. It has a 5.3 liter LS V8 engine, an automatic transmission, air conditioning, power windows, steering and brakes, power retractable top, and they only manufactured these from 2003 to 2006. And by the way, SSR stands for Super Sport Roadster. I think that the retractable hardtop is what makes these things really unique and kind of cool. I don't know if it would be worth having this truck over a lot of other trucks just because of that. It's super unique though. They're probably going to be really collectible and it sold for $18,000. This next vehicle is a 2010 Chevrolet Avalanche LTZ. And I picked these two vehicles because I thought, yeah, they're both kind of funny trucks and people don't really like them all the time. And guess what? This Chevrolet Avalanche, it's actually a really cool truck because I'm a total Ford truck guy, but my last Ford blew up and I had to buy something within 25 miles because I was out in the middle of nowhere. And the only thing available was a Chevy Avalanche, and it is a great vehicle. You know why? It's because I can go to Home Depot, pick up 8 sheets of drywall, put them in the truck, and drive through a drive-through car wash because you can put 8 sheets of drywall in there. They're amazing. It's got a 5.3 liter V8 automatic transmission, fully and completely loaded. This vehicle sold for $19,000. Okay, let's take a look at a couple of Jeeps, and neither of these are going to be Wranglers. I'm not going to put any Wranglers in this video, so yeah, you're welcome. I get tired of seeing those too. This is a 1988 Jeep Comanche pickup with 122,000 miles on the odometer. Has a 4-liter inline 6-cylinder engine, automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes. It's got a lift kit on it. American Racing alloy wheels and Goodyear Wrangler tires on it. I think that's pretty cool. And it looks basically like the inside of a Cherokee, except for it doesn't have back seats. And oh, it does have air conditioning, by the way. So, one thing it doesn't have is four-wheel drive, but it did sell for $17,000. Would you pick that vehicle that didn't have four-wheel drive, or would you pick this 1996 Cherokee with 64,000 miles on it? Same engine, 4-liter inline six. This one actually has a 5-speed manual transmission, which I've never seen that on one of these Cherokees before. So that might be a really highly sought-after item, having that 5-speed manual. It does have air conditioning, and this one also has four-wheel drive. I can see the shifter in there whenever I look. There it is down to the right of the steering wheel. Not that shifter, but the four-wheel drive shifter. It has new tires, so you will be able to drive this thing home after you leave the auction and not have to worry about having a blowout. AM, FM radio, that's pretty cool. Now my question is to you, since this one sold for $17,000 and so did the other one, which one would you pick? Of the two Jeeps, do you pick the Cherokee or do you pick the Comanche? Now we're going to look at two very different Ford Mustangs, and I think the one you choose will really just define what age group you fall under. This first one is a 1972 Ford Mustang Coupe with 28,000 miles on the odometer. I got to say, I love this thing. Look at the brown on brown. Is the interior brown? Because if it is, then we can say it's brown on brown on brown. And it is. Look at that. What a beautiful car this is. The wheels look great on it. The interior looks great on it. It's got a 351 cubic inch Cleveland V8. And if it's a Q code, that has about 265 horsepower, which is respectable. It just doesn't say if it is or not. 3-speed automatic transmission. And there you go. There's that AC pump, which I love. So I'm going to say this is a really good car. What do you think? Okay, so this is the other Mustang. We jumped 2 generations. This is a 1991 Ford Mustang LX convertible. And of course, there's an AC compressor. It's going to have AC. That was probably pretty much a standard item by the early 1990s. Even in the 80s, there were cars that, air conditioning was still an option. But this has the 5-liter V8, sequential electronic fuel injection, automatic transmission with overdrive, power steering, power brakes, all of that stuff. Power windows and locks, you name it, it has it all. Power top, yeah, it does it all. I really do like the white interiors of these. I had a 5-liter GT convertible that was red, and it was a 91 model, and it had the same interior. Great cars, but I think I'm still going to pick the 72 Mustang over this one because it is a beautiful car. What about you guys? Now we're going to pit two Chevrolet Pace cars against each other, and I think I know what most of you guys are going to pick. I know my subscribers. I know my viewers. Come on, guys. We know each other. We're friends. This is a 1978 Chevrolet Corvette Pace Car Edition with 28,000 miles on the odometer. It has the L48 350 cubic inch V8. Remember, the L82 is the 350 that's really sought after because it's higher horsepower. Look at the interior on this. The silver is great. I love the silver interiors of these pace cars. Automatic transmission, the factory T-tops. And if you look on the far side there, I see what looks like an AC compressor. That they didn't mention it. That's a mistake on their part. This vehicle sold for $16,000. So after looking through 20 vehicles that sold for $20,000 or less at Mecum Indy 2026, what do you think? Are these cars actually getting better as the prices go up, or are you mostly just paying for appearance? And most importantly, of those pairings that we did, which ones would you have picked, and which one is your top pick? Let's look at this one. It's a 1999 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 pace car with 31,000 miles on the odometer. It's number 43 of 50 Indy 500 Z28 convertible festival cars produced for 1999. It has a 5.7 liter LS1 V8 engine, an automatic transmission, leather interior, power convertible top. I think it's a really good looking car. And it sold for $19,000. Do you pick this or do you pick the Corvette pace car?